Good morning, class. I am on my way to Bangkok. You're in good hands with the wonderful volunteers that have come and are subbing for me. Yesterday, we did not get to an activity that I wanted us to, and so I created this video just so that you can do that activity in preparation for the foldable that you'll be using for the rest of the activity. So what I want you to do, we're going to do what's called an anchoring table, and this is going to be used to help us understand this idea of what a system is. And we're going to use this anchoring table. The beauty of it is that it takes something that is a known concept, something you're familiar with, and connects it to a newer concept that we are just learning, that we may have some idea about, but we want to get a deeper understanding. So we're going to use the anchoring table as a tool today to get to that deeper understanding. So what I need you to do is get out your blank anchoring table that was given to you by the sub, and also open up your book to the first chapter, and then open it to section 1, which is labeled Body Organization. Now, if you remember yesterday with our foldable, that was one of the flaps that we labeled. So this activity is going to take the place of writing anything underneath that. So that will actually be blank. We may use that for something later. But just so you know that this is, you're not going to have to rewrite anything that we work on today for that. So as we get started, what you need to do is anything that you see on the screen, you need to make sure that you are writing in your blank anchoring table. And the sub may need to pause the video just to make sure that you keep up with that, but I'll make sure I leave some time for you to be able to write that in. So have your book, your table, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is know that this is comparing this idea of school, which is your known concept, with the new concept of a system. Okay, so in your anchoring table, go ahead into the known concepts section, go ahead and write the word school. School is something that you come to almost every day, so you have some familiarity with that. But I want you to think of a school as a school functioning together as a whole, rather than just a school as a place that you go to. Okay, so then with the new concept, which we're putting in this box labeled new concept, okay, write the word system. We've used that term a lot when we talk about the human body systems, but now I want you to see why it is that we use that word and kind of what it means within the context of what we're studying. Okay, so check your neighbor. Do they have school and system written in the correct box? If they do, say great job. If not, help correct them so that we get off to the right start. Okay, now I'm going back over to the first column over here, which is the known concept, so characteristics of a known concept. Okay, in that first box, go ahead and write students and teachers. Okay, if we look at a school as a system, okay, the students and the teachers are definitely part of that. They are kind of like the building blocks to the school. Without them, the school really wouldn't have a purpose. Okay, so you have your students and your teacher there. Okay, in the next box below that, go ahead and write the word classrooms. So I want you to start thinking, imagining, okay, we are in this classroom, or you are in the classroom, okay, and you all together work together to make up the classroom. So we're not talking about the physical structure at this point. We're talking about you making up, the teacher making up the classroom, working together for a common purpose. Okay, the classrooms then, if you look at that structure, okay, make up hallways. Okay, at Faith Academy, we have the different hallways. Okay, and in the last, not last, second to last, we have the middle school division. Okay, which then is part of the bigger whole, which is school, which we could put Faith Academy down. Okay, so we have some level of organization there, from the teachers to the classroom to the hallway to the middle school division to the school as a whole. Okay, so then I want you to go over to the other column. okay, which is characteristics of a new concept. We're looking at here system as a body system. So we start with what cells. We've spent some time learning about what cells are, what the purposes of that. Okay, so the cells then make up tissues. And then the tissues make up organs. Organs make up a system. And really the system then as a whole makes up the human body systems, or the human body. Okay, so there's a level of organization with that, going from the most specific to the biggest idea with that. Okay, so that is just part of the anchoring table. That's just the beginning. So what I want you to do now is we need to fill in this middle section, which are the characteristics shared. And you're going to be working together as a table to figure out what it is that you're going to write in this box. And it's not something that I'm giving to you, something that you need to figure out. And you may be asking, where are we going to get information to help figure that out? That's why you need to have your textbook open to section 1 called Body Organization. Now, everyone take a look at your book. There is a vocabulary word that is in yellow. It's called homeostasis. Okay, and I'm just going to read the sentence where that is in. It says, your body gets used to cold water because it returns to homeostasis. It's referring to the scenario that's listed right above that, which is jumping into a lake, and at first your body feels very cold, but eventually you get used to the cold. This word homeostasis is something that your body is always trying to get to, wanting to maintain that. Okay, so your body responds to different things that are going on in the environment to make sure that you return to this idea of homeostasis. And if you read on later, it says, maintaining this is not easy. Your internal environment is always changing. Your cells need nutrients and oxygen to survive, and your cells need waste removed. If homeostasis is disrupted, cells may not get the materials they need, so cells may be damaged or may die. Okay, so what's this idea of homeostasis in relationship to this known concept of school? Okay, the idea behind that is the classroom, the students, and the teachers need to work together to create this environment that is the best for learning. Okay, so there are distractions, there are things that get in the way of that, and this idea of homeostasis is, it would be like the teachers and the students working together to maintain that. Okay, so that is this idea of homeostasis. Now, how does that relate to this middle section here on characteristics shared? So what I want you to do is I want you to read in your textbook the sections. First one is called cells form tissues, and then the next page it's tissues form organs, organs form systems, okay, and on the back working together. So you're going to read through that section and then find out how this is described in the book. Okay, how does that help you figure out how these characteristics are shared between cells and the students and the teacher? Okay, so let's fill in one of these together, and then you can spend some time working on this as a group. So if I look at cells and I look at students and teachers and I read in the section where it says cells form tissues, your cells, I'm just going to read this, your cells must do many jobs to maintain homeostasis, but each of your cells does not have to do all of those jobs. Just as each person on a soccer team has a role during a game, each cell in your body has a job in maintaining homeostasis. Your cells are organized into groups. A group of similar cells working together forms a tissue. Okay, so what I could put down here in this section, okay, is have different roles, but they work together. Okay, it's pretty simple. Not looking for a lot of fancy stuff there. Okay, and you may find as you work through each of these that you have some similar things that you're writing down into that characteristic spot. Okay, so go ahead with your group, work through each of these. The sub will come around and help you or check how that's working. And in a few minutes, they'll turn this back on, or she'll turn this back on, and I'll explain the next part that you need to do. Thank you. Okay, so then let's finish this up after you've determined those shared characteristics. It says that you need to come up with a understanding of the new concepts. You're going to write just a few sentences related to this idea. Now, the concept is a system. You don't want to refer to the school in here. The school is just to help you understand how the system works together. Okay, so in this, I would start as if you need a sentence starter with this, you would want to say a system is ... You're going to fill that in based off of what you've learned through this process. Okay, so work with your group to come up with a probably 2 to 3 sentence description of what a system is. And this is going to help you when we start looking at the specific systems that are in the body. Thank you so much. I will look forward to seeing these when I come back. I'm going to ask that the sub collect these so I can see all the great work that you are doing. Make sure you are being good.